Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today is day one of the 3-star Bloody Battle raid tournament with no greens, and today, of course, I am going to feature my 5 raid flags with commentary explaining the teams I bring against my opponents and the tile movement throughout each of those battles. Real quick, before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. All right, so this is actually my defense. I've got pictured here. We've got Cavassier as our tank. I've got Ulmer and Kirill as our flanks, the Toon versions. Then I've got Swan Maiden and Felton as our wings. There are no greens, and where green is strong against blues, I went heavy on blues. And because it's Bloody Battle, I always like to use Cavassier as my tank because he's fast mana speed and because he gives minions to everybody. So it acts as a healing of sorts in place of, and it prevents the opponents from getting minions as well because of his special. So if we take a look at how my defense is doing so far, I've got an A rating, only 3 battles against me, which I've won 2 of them. Curious to see what my opponents have been bringing against me. Jolly is definitely interesting considering he's very slow mana speed. Definitely would expect a team like that with the blues, maybe not the reds, and then a heavy purple team, which I would expect with a yellow tank that I have on my team. As far as who I'm going to be going up against first, we are going to have a Rose Petite tank team with Toon Valen and Treeville on the flanks, and then they've got Boots and Helgi on the wings. This team that I've got right here with Cavassier, I've also got Toon Ganju, I've got Swan Maiden, Toon Kirill, and Felton, is probably going to be the main team that I bring up against most of these teams. I may bring an extra blue here and there, but I like the fact that all 3 of my yellows are fast mana speed, and then Toon Kirill is an extremely hard hitter, and then Swan Maiden makes it so that extra damage is able to be given each time one of my allies' specials go off in the next 3 turns after she goes off. So it's kind of similar to the Dark Feather effect, but for a rare level hero. So she is definitely a great hero to get some extra damage for. All right, let's see how our first battle here goes. Very strong board to start. I will certainly take that. Now, my yellows are going to activate in 8 tiles because of the fact that they're all fast mana speed, and you don't get mana troops with rare heroes, unfortunately, so you are not able to get them down to 7 unless if you have a bard in there to get them extra 5% mana, or some other special that increases your mana. So I'm going to start off with the 4 yellows here on the bottom, which is going to set off a cascade with blues. And Rose Petite is dead already. Very nice. Now I'm going to match these purples, which is going to set a cascade of green, so I can do a little bit of tile dumping here. And now I am going to match these 3 yellows in the middle. Activating those is going to give me my yellow specials. If I move the ones on the left, on the top left toward Valen, I am not going to, but because one of this is going to get ghosted, it's going to give me my 8 yellow tiles, and we'll get a cascade of yellows anyway. All right, so let's use Cavassier first, and then I want to just kill Treeville, get him out of the way. So let's use Felton on him, and then I know Valen is already damaged a little bit, but we're going to try to do some damage to Helgi over here. I don't want to deal with Valen's reviving potential until I have to. Let's match these 3 yellows here, and then I can match some blues next turn. And I am going to match these, which is going to set a cascade with that purple diamond and some more blues, and maybe we'll kill Valen. And we did. He didn't revive. Perfect. All right, now let's use Kirill, who does extra damage against red also, I believe. Perfect. And I should have used Swan Maiden first. That was dumb. I'm going to hold on to her until I get somebody else's special. Actually, I'm just going to use her now since I'm going to match some blue tiles right now. And then let's hit this blue dragon. Boots should be dead very soon. And he is indeed dead now from that extra damage. All right, we are 1 for 1 to start off this 3-star raid tournament. Next up, we are going to have a Swan Maiden tank with Dawn. We've also got Joe Hinger or Jukahainen. Then they've got Glass Jahinger, and then they've also got Kinsaishi. So this is an interesting team here. I'm going to stick with the same team that I have, especially if I can get Cavassier going early before Dawn does so that she can't gain any minions. I would like to start off with the yellows on the top right. And then I'm going to match the yellows up against Jahinger. I'm going to have a 4 match of blues right here that I'm going to take. Now, I'm going to match these purples up against Swan Maiden, I think. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to be able to get our 9 blues. So I'm going to match those, and then I'm going to match the other blues up against Swan Maiden next turn. Alright, so let's use Swan Maiden first. And then let's use the main part of Kirill against Swan Maiden. The minor damage to Jahinger, if they don't dodge it, should kill him. And it did kill him. Perfect. Alright, now I'm going to hit this purple diamond to do some tile dumping, and those yellow tiles will probably kill Swan Maiden. Perfect. Now let's use Cavassier. Let's use the main part of Ganju on Jukenheinen. Felton on Kinsai. Hit this yellow diamond, which is going to give me my yellow specials again, and this battle should be over very quickly. And we are 2 for 2 to start this raid tournament. All right, next up we are going to have a Star Swift tank team. They've also got another Star Swift, Swan Maiden, Cavassier, and Toon Kirill themselves. I will definitely keep this same team here. I am going to start off with the greens horizontally in the middle. That's going to set a cascade of blues and reds. All right. Now I'm going to match these blues up against Star Swift, hoping I get another blue somewhere in the middle there, or a yellow. All right, not in the right spot, but I'll take it. Let's match these purples now, setting a cascade of yellows. All right, Star Swift is dead. Awesome. I'm going to ghost these green tiles up the middle. I would like to get my Cavassier before their Cavassier goes off, but I don't know if I can. Let's see if we can get lucky with the yellow. I'm going to match these yellows up against Swan Maiden. I was hoping not to throw a tile up against Cavassier, because I think if I match them horizontally, it's going to activate him. Let's ghost these red tiles and see if maybe the mana doesn't give him his special, but it did. All right, well, let's match these 3 yellows or 4 yellows up against Swan Maiden, see if that kills her. Not quite. So any hit from one of those minions is going to make it so that I cannot gain minions. So Felton is not going to be able to gain minions. Swan Maiden won't, and Cavassier. But let's use him so that Ganju and Kirill can get minions. Now, let's see if we can kill Swan Maiden, which will get rid of the dancing. And it did work. Perfect. Now, let's hit Star Swift over here, see if we can get rid of their minion. Match these yellow tiles here in the middle. I only need 1 more blue tile, so ghosting those blue tiles is kind of a waste in the middle there. I think I'd like to see if I can match these reds up against Star Swift. See if we get lucky with a blue. We did get one, just not in the right spot. Alright, I'm just going to ghost these blue tiles because I need to get my blue specials so that I can do some damage before I get killed. All right, let's use Swan Maiden first, and then use Kareel over here. And then hit this Blue Dragon, which is going to give me my yellow specials again. And this match should be over, I think. Awesome, yes, from the extra damage from Swan Maiden's effect. We are 3 for 3. Next up, we are going to have a Dawn tank team. They've also got Kvasir, Treeville, Swan Maiden, and Glass Jahinger. I'm going to use the same exact team, which is working very well for me so far. Pretty terrible board to start, unfortunately, for blues and yellows. So we are going to have to work some magic here. Let's start off with matching this red diamond, which I'm going to hit in a moment to do some tile dumping. All right, now let's match these 4 blues up against Dawn. Let's match 3 more blues up against Dawn. And she's going to get her special, but that's okay. Hoping the minions do not affect Swan Maiden or Kareel. Awesome. Okay, let's use Swan Maiden first. Now let's hit the 3 in the middle here and see how many of these minions we can get rid of. All right, we got rid of 1 at least. Now I'm going to match these 4 yellows. That should get rid of another minion. Awesome. And Dawn is dead. Kvasir is about to go off, and so is Swan Maiden. All right. I'm going to match the yellows over here on the left. That's going to set a cascade of purples and greens afterwards. So we're going to have quite a bit of a cascade. And some more blues. And some yellows. All right. With the dancing effect from Swan Maiden, I don't have to deal with the minions from Kvasir allowing me to not receive new minions. So that's awesome. Let's use him first. And obviously, they have the same exact effect. Although, if I can kill Swan Maiden, then we can make it so they cannot get new minions. Alright, she's still alive. I'm going to do some tile dumping and hit this green diamond, which is going to set at least 1 cascade of those yellows on the right. Some blues. Ah, she's almost dead. I'm going to not match those 3 yellows because she died from poison or something. Awesome, cool. All right, now that dancing effect is gone. Jahinger's about to go off. Let's ghost some purple tiles so I can get my specials back for my 3 yellows. Alright, let's use Kvasir first. I'm not worried about their Kvasir since they cannot gain any minions. Let's see if we can kill Jahinger so I can go some tiles over here and then hit Treeville. Let's go some more yellow tiles. And I can go some blue ones next turn. Barring anything crazy from happening, this battle should be over very soon. All right, and this battle's over. That extra damage of like 400 plus every single turn after a special goes off from Swan Maiden, or not every single turn, but whenever a special goes off, is a lot of extra damage. All right, next up, we are going to have a Grey Maiden tank team. Interesting that they don't have the Toon version of him at tank, but they've also got Aquila, Rose Petite, Toon Ulmer, and Glass Ganju. I'm going to keep this same exact team. Even with that terrible board to start, we still were able to pull out a win pretty easily. And we've got a much better board to start here. All right, so first, I'm going to start off with the 4 blues up against Rose Petite. And she's dead already. Awesome. Now let's match these 3 blues up against Ganju on the left. Going to match these Blues up against Greymane. That's going to give me Kirill and Swan Maiden. They both activate in 10 tiles, and we got quite a cascade of some more yellows. Awesome. Let's use Swan Maiden first. Let's use the main part of Kirill on Aquila. The minor should kill Greymane. Awesome. Now, I'm going to match the 3 yellows on the top left. 2 of them up against Aquila. She's dead. Awesome. Nice cascade. And this battle should also be over pretty quickly, I think. And we are 5 for 5 on day 1 of this 3-star raid tournament. Definitely went extremely smooth with the team that I brought every single battle. This will put us in the top 1%, currently ranked 2043. Although, as you all know, on day 1, it's always extremely close. I'm only 22 points behind first place, and I'm ranked 2043. So a lot of people went 5-0, it looks like, so far today on day 1. Let me know how your day 1 raid tournament went. But that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're sub to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.